Okay, today we are starting new chapter, lenses. First question, what is a lens? We say a lens is a transparent medium bounded by two surfaces which are generally curved, or at least one of the surface will be curved. A lens is a transparent medium bounded by two surfaces which are generally curved. That is the definition of a lens. Mainly we have two type of lenses in syllabus. One is convex lens, the other one is concave lens. About them only we are supposed to know. Convex lens shape is like this. Concave lens shape is like this. This is convex, or we call it biconvex, or it is called converging lens. Converging. This is called concave. Concave, or we call it biconcave or diverging lens. How to differentiate between the convex lens and concave lens? Convex lens is the lens whose middle portion is thicker and the edges are thin. The lens with the thicker middle portion and the edges thinner are called convex lens, whereas in concave lens the middle portion will be thinner whereas the edges are thicker. So these two ways we can differentiate between them. Okay, we have to mainly focus on only these two type of lenses because these two type of lenses only we have in ICC syllabus. Okay, in a lens, in any kind of lens, we have this geometric center of the lens here. Geometric center of the lens is called optical center, that we denote by O. This is the geometric center of the lens and we call it optical center. There is a special property related to optical center of a lens. What is that property? Any ray passing through O will pass the lens undeviated. Any incident ray through O will pass undeviated without bending. Here also any kind of ray passing through O will go undeviated. So that is the special property of optical center. Any kind of ray coming like this, it will go undeviated. Ray passing through O, it will go undeviated like this also. Any kind of ray through O passes the lens undeviated, without bending. It will go straight, without bending, without getting refracted. And we have a reason for it. Okay, reason is because a lens is supposed to be made up of tiny prisms. Like this is the, if you take it this way, this is a prism. If you consider that this is a prism like this, so prisms, here also you got prisms, here also you have prisms, here also we have prisms, here also we have prisms. But the central part is exactly like a glass block, rectangular glass block. Here like this. A very thin glass block, it acts as at the center. Any ray passing through the center does not bend or does pass undeviated because the central portion of the lens behaves as a very thin rectangular glass block or rectangular glass block for which the lateral displacement is negligible. There is no lateral displacement. That's why it goes straight. So you can understand this way. Suppose I take a block, rectangular block, rays are coming like this. In the previous chapter I taught already, but once again you can have a look at it. It will go like this ray will go like this. This distance is called lateral displacement. Lateral displacement depends upon the thickness of the block. I take the glass block thinner, like this thin glass block, you will find this ray is bending like this ray is parallel, the lateral displacement value is now this much, it was this much before, now it becomes less. Let us make it even thinner. You will find this ray will be bending like this, even the lateral displacement will be very small. But if it is really very thin like this, very thin, it will go like this and it will come out like this. It will appear that the ray of light doesn't deviate at all, because the lateral displacement, the gap between them is very small. So it passes the point O undeviated, optical center undeviated. Even ICC question comes, why does a ray of light or why does an incident ray through O or through the optical center pass undeviated? Answer will say, since the central part of a lens behaves as a very thin glass block producing negligible lateral displacement. You can write in your words. Central part of a lens behaves as a very thin glass block producing negligible lateral displacement. That's why the ray, incident ray through O seems to pass undeviated. So that is the reason behind. Now you have to learn the rules for drawing ray diagrams for the formation of image by a lens, and some definitions you have to learn. I mean, you have to see the diagram and from there you can write your own definitions. About optical center, I already told you. This is a lens. What lens is this? Convex lens. Here is the optical center. A horizontal line passing through O. This line is called principal axis. The entire line is called principal axis. And if I draw a line like this way if I draw, this line is called axis of the lens. This is axis of the lens and this is called principal axis. On the principal axis, we have important points. One point will be here and another point will be here. This point will mark as F1, this point will mark as F2. This F2 is called principal focus or second focal point. Second F2, 2 is the number coming, so second focal point we can call it. And F1 is called auxiliary focus or first focal point. These 2 points are situated where? On the principal axis. What is the property related to them? The property is like this: an incident ray parallel to the principal axis like this. An incident ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction from the lens passes through the point on the principal axis, and that point is called principal axis like this. So if question comes, define the principal focus of a convex lens or the second focal point of a convex lens, then we give the definition. You can see remember the diagram of the property, and the same diagram we can put into words like this. We can say it is a point on the principal axis of the convex lens through which an incident ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction passes. If a ray comes like this, the ray parallel, it will pass through F2. If the ray comes like this, it will pass through F2. If the ray comes like this, it will pass through F2. Any kind of incident ray parallel to the principal axis will be passing through the point F2. So that is the property of principal focus. And what is the property of auxiliary focus? You can draw another diagram and remember it like this. This is your auxiliary focus, this is your principal focus. And incident ray through F1 after refraction from the lens becomes parallel. It is just the reverse of this. Just now you see the rays is parallel and is passing through F2. Now the ray will pass through F and become parallel. Just the reverse. That means in the diagram we can show like this. An incident ray through O after refraction from the lens will become parallel. Just the reverse of this case. The two principal focus properties are reverse of each other. What is F1? F1 is the auxiliary focus, and how can we define it? Or it is also called first focal point. We can say it is the point on the principal axis of a convex lens through which an incident ray after refraction from the lens becomes parallel. So simple definition. If you remember the diagram, you can always give definition yourself. You can put your own words for the definition. So same way, if a ray passes through F1 like this, what will happen? The ray will become parallel. So this is the property of auxiliary focus and the principal over F1 and F2 of a convex lens. Now one question arises: why the ray out here? The ray is coming out here and is bending and passing through the point F2. The reason is because the entire thing is a prism. So here is the base of the prism. Any ray of light going like this over here and it will go like this. Ultimately it will bend towards the base of the prism. If the prism is like this, the ray will go like this way, and it will be emerging, bending towards the base of the prism like this. So here is the base of the prism, so entire thing is the prism, so here it is bending towards the base is out here like this, so it will go, pass through F2. Same way, if a ray of light coming like this, where is the base of this part is the prism, so where is the base? Here is the base, so it will pass through the base of the prism like this. Same thing happens here also. If a ray of light, just opposite of that, the ray of light is going like this, will become parallel. So this is the logic behind it. Okay, now in case of concave lens, here again F1, here again I like F2. This time this one F1 is called principal focus, just a reverse of the convex lens, principal focus. And this side will be the auxiliary focus. Or we can call it first focal point and the second focal point of the concave lens. This is the axis of the lens. Okay, now we'll see the property of F1, principal focus. The property goes on like this. An incident ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction from the lens appears to pass through F1. It will not actually pass, but it will appear to pass through F1. And so from here, this point will join by ruler, will be joining like the dotted line, and now it will go like this. So the ray of light will be diverging out, this will be spreading out. Same way, if a ray of light I take like this way if I take another ray, this ray is also parallel to the principal axis. What will happen to the ray? This will be appearing to pass through F2 like this, and actually the ray will be refracting like this. Why it happens like this? Because this thing is a prism, the entire thing is a prism. Here is the base of the prism, it will bend towards the base. Here is the base. Here the base is here, that's why it is bending towards the base of the prism. Like this. This is the logic here. So how can we give the definition of first focal point of concave lens or the principal focus? We say it is the point on the principal axis of a concave lens through which an incident ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction appear to pass. Appear is the word we will be using out here. Appear to pass. It does not actually pass, but it seems to pass. It appears to pass through that point. Okay. Now, how to define F2? F2 is just the reverse of principal focus. What is that? An incident ray which is appearing to pass through F2 will become parallel. I'll draw another diagram out here and show the property of F2. I mean auxiliary focus here in this case. This is F1, this is F2. A ray of light which is appearing to pass through F2. This ray is straight. This ray is appearing to pass through F2 will become parallel after refraction, like this, just the reverse of this. It will become parallel to the principal axis. So this is the property of auxiliary focus or the second focal point. Same way, if the ray comes like this, if the ray is going like this way, as if it is appearing to pass through F2, what will happen to the ray? The ray will become parallel to the principal axis. So please, you must copy the diagrams. Once the diagram is copied, you can give the definition in your own words. If the question comes, draw the diagram first and then write down the definitions following the diagram. See the diagram, what does the diagram say? So we define the principal focus and auxiliary focus for both convex lens and for the concave lens. In case of convex lens, this side is the principal focus or the main focus, and this side will have auxiliary focus. But in concave lens, it is just the reverse. This side will have the principal focus, and the other side is the auxiliary focus. Here is the focus where it is appearing to pass, and now the second one is making the ray parallel. Any ray passing through F2 is becoming parallel, auxiliary focus. Okay, now one observation out here. The distance of two focus or two foci or the two focal points from the optical center of the lens or from the lens, this side F1 and F2 distance. This distance is called focal length. This distance is also called focal length. So the distance of two focal points from a lens are generally equal. Why they are generally equal? This distance and this distance will be generally same. Why? What is the reason behind? Because the medium is same. Medium of both sides of the lens is generally kept the same. This side also we got air, then that means air, here this side is also air. So the medium is same, so that's why the distances are also same or the distances are also equal. But by chance, if this side is air and this side we got water, then the distances will not be the same. In a denser medium, the distance will be more. And in the rarer medium, the distance will be less. If this side we got air and this side we have water, so this distance will be more. It won't be equal. Both the side distances will not be equal. This side distance will be more. In case of a denser medium, any kind of denser medium. I think you got my point. The distances will be equal only when the medium surrounding the lens on both sides are the same. If the mediums are different, with this side we have got air, this side we have water, or this side we got something else, then the distances will not be the same. Rarer medium and denser medium. In the denser medium, the distance will be far, and in the rarer medium, the distance will be bit closer. And if the two mediums are having same density or same optical density, then the distances will be equal. Okay. So now rules for drawing the ray diagrams by any lens, by either convex lens or by a concave lens. The rule is like this: minimum two rays we must take from the top of the object, from the object. We must take minimum two rays. We can take even more rays, but minimum two we must take. First ray will take parallel to the principal axis, and we'll see what kind of lens it is. If the lens is convex, it will pass through the principal focus, and if the lens is concave lens, that means it will appear to pass through the principal focus. That is first rule. Second rule is second ray will take and pass it through the optical center of the lens O, and that will go undivided. Where the two rays after refraction meet or they appear to meet after refraction, there only the image will be formed. There will form the image. That is the rule number 2. First rule is incident ray parallel to the principal axis will be either passing or will be appearing to pass through the principal focus. The second rule is the ray passing through O means optical center will go undeviated. That is rule number 2. And if by chance sometime in the question they ask you to draw 3 rays, starting from the top of the object. The 3 rays, third ray will take it through the auxiliary focus. Ray passing through the auxiliary focus or appearing to pass through the auxiliary focus will become parallel to the principal axis after refraction through the lens. That property will be using if question asks you to draw 3 rays. So applying these rules, we have to draw the diagram for the formation of image. So we'll do case wise. First we will be taking the case of convex lens. You can give the heading formation of image by a convex lens. Formation of image by a convex lens. There are cases. First case we are doing case wise. Case 1. So case 1 is when the object is at infinity. I mean very far object. Almost at infinity. How to draw the diagram? So to draw the diagram, first we will be taking a line, principal axis. For the sake of accuracy and convenience, we choose one of the ruled line and overwrite it with a pencil. You can choose one of the ruled line of your copy, and there we can choose a point O anywhere, somewhere in the midway you can choose a point O, and we draw a vertical line like this. This is the lens F. So the height of the line we can keep either 3 lines above the principal axis, 1, 2, 3 lines up, 3 lines down. Same height let's keep so that it looks equal. I mean both the sides will look symmetrical. Then using ruler for the sake of convenience and accuracy, from here we will choose one point F and same distance we will choose another point. Normally we take the distance 2 cm or you can take 3 cm even, but take equal distance. This side you take 2 cm, this side also you will take 2 cm, mark F. Just now I am marking F only. Now I will write the F1 and F2. First focal point and second focal point. You may only write F and F, both the sides. That also is okay, acceptable. Okay, now as per the one more we can take out here. This distance and this distance will take equivalent 2 cm. Further 2 cm we can mark as 2F2. This side also 2 cm. This side we will write 2F1. Just double of that. That is 2 and further 2 cm. Right. Now we'll see the case on where is the object. Object is at infinity. Any object at infinity, the rays are assumed to be coming parallel like this. All the rays will come parallel and will be taking at least 2-3 rays. So first ray we are taking just above the first line above the principal axis like this. And what kind of lens is this? This is convex lens. This will be passing through F2. So we will be doing it here. That is passing through F2. Using ruler we draw. Here also we do the same. One line we take incident light, exactly one line below the principal axis. The exact line we choose, and this will pass through F2. We can choose one more ray. We can choose it above. It will pass through F2. Here also one more line, and second line below the principal axis, the second line above the principal axis we are choosing. This will also pass through F2. All the rays are meeting over here. So here is the image formed. Now we write characteristics of the image. Characteristics of the image, or that is nature of the image. Number 1, first we write the location. We will see where is the image formed. We will be writing about that first. And each ray must have arrows. Arrow markings are very, very important. No arrow, no mark. The rule simply says that. So you must mark the rays, arrows in the incident ray and arrows in the refracted rays, the rays which are passing through the lens after refraction. Characteristics of the image. First, where is the image forming? We'll see the image is forming at F2. We write here formed at F2. First point we write that. If you are writing only F and only F, you have to write here formed at F on the other side of the lens. On the other side of the lens, I mean on the opposite side of the object, other side of the lens you have to write. If you are writing only F. But if you write F2, it is already clear where is F2 in the diagram you are showing this to. You don't have to write that. Number 2, we'll see what kind of image is this. Is the image real or virtual? Real means when the rays are really meeting, actually meeting. It does not seem to meet or does not appear to meet. Here that all the rays are actually meeting, so we'll be writing the real. Third point we write real image is always inverted, so we'll be writing the word inverted. In the fourth point, we'll see the size of the image. Infinity objects are assumed to be very large, and here the image is very small, like a point. We'll be writing highly diminished. Highly diminished. Diminished means small. Highly diminished. We can write this one also uses. Where do we use this action of convex lens? We can use as a burning glass. As a burning glass. You know, sometimes the reading glass or the simple microscope, BioLab and all, they use in the box. Bio box, they use that lens which magnifies. Sometimes the palmist and all, they read the palms using that lens, it magnifies. They are all convex lens. When you keep the piece of paper in front of that, you will see the sun's image will be formed there on the paper. Sun's image. Sun is very far, sun's image will be formed over here and here. There, if you keep the piece of paper, then piece of paper after some time starts burning itself, because the sun's light contains enough amount, sufficient quantity of heat, and all the rays are converging at that point, producing too much heat at that point, and it's causing the paper to be burned out. So, as a burning glass. If question comes, which lens is used as a burning glass? We say convex lens. Draw the diagram to show the action of the lens as a burning glass. You can draw this diagram. And after doing everything, then you can complete the lens like this. Then you can draw and make the lens like this. This is the last finishing part you can do. So this was the first case of convex lens. And this diagram also suggests that the rays after passing through the lens are all meeting, actually meeting at a point. Meeting at a point means like this, closing at a point. That's why this lens is also called converging lens. Which lens is called a converging lens? We say convex lens. Draw the diagram to show its action as a converging lens. We draw the same diagram. Converging action only causes burning of the glass. Burning causes the burning of paper, and this is made up of glass. So it is action is used in burning glass. Okay, today we have discussed till here case 1. So next day we will be continuing, and then we will be discussing the other cases. Thank you.